Hi everyone, hope you are doing well. I am Vedangi Rana. Here I am talking about the subject 7406, Business Intelligence and Data Warehousing. In that, me and my group mates Ajay, Sheldon and Lavanya are going to present about the data analytics in the healthcare and education domain. First of all, what is data analytics? Here, the data analytics is there. Various major companies have their quantities of data sources to be checked by them, which will contribute about to inquiring, contributing and executing for requests expressly planned for the efficient running of industry. Many methods, strategies and applications they may implement to achieving their successful goal. And for data processing, they unit the cluster, scrutinize, pick inform priorities, choose the prime alternative and every fluctuation. Now, what is benefits of BI in healthcare system? There are three benefits of BI in healthcare system. The first is better patient care. In that, nowadays, due to all technologies, patient data is easily available. BI can use this data to help all team members and they can help them to cure the patients. Another one is enhanced decisions. Healthcare working together is more important. In that, they want all people to communicate, to take all decisions together and all promote the patient to cure them. The third one is improve cost management. The cost management team, in that BI helps to maintain all the data in healthcare system in all single sources. The another thing is in a healthcare system, how cardiovascular diseases occur and what happen. Total, like for one report, it's 17.9 million people died from CVD in 2016 in US. This is overall 31% of all the worldwide, and 85% of deaths due to heart attack and strokes occur. What is cardiovascular disease? It is a heart and blood vessels disorder. There are lots of problems occur, like first is coronary heart disease, the second is cerebrovascular disease, the third one is peripheral arterial disease, the fourth one is rheumatic heart disease, fifth one is congenital heart disease, and sixth one is deep vein thrombosis and pulmonary embolism. The next topic is how BI can help in education. The benefits of BI in education. BI help in education to get all the raw data and merge it and make sense and make all data in one sense. The another thing is BI software also taste your historical data and it targets it allows you to set the all forecast trends based on the where you would end up with the continued path on your currently. The business intelligence software clearly shows how modification you have to make to start align your predictions with your objectives and needs. The another thing of the last topic is that the scope of the report. We use Tableau and SAP analytic tool to use the predictive analytic using conventional data analysis techniques to find these explanation is to examine such a inaccessibility created data using in big data analytics to explore the various healthcare and educational clusters, which can in turn help improving healthcare and education in the city. So before we can go to the analysis part, Ajay will share with us two very popular BI trends that is very beneficial to data analytics and BI. Thank you.
Thank you, Vedangi. This is Ajay Chaudhary. My student ID is 30365570. In this talk, I am going to elaborate some key factors around business intelligence and its trends. First of all, business intelligence is a technology-driven process for analyzing data and presenting actionable information which helps executives and managers. So there are some trends given in the picture, but I'm going to talk about data discovery or visualization and self-service BI. Data visualization is a kind of picture which has all the information about complex data. So it is in a simple way we can say that like the complex data into a simpler form of picture. Like we know that with the help of picture we can easily get the data, we can easily understand the data. So data visualization gives us the chance to elaborate all the complex data into a simpler form, in a form of picture. It can be a bar graph, line chart, or a geographical implementation of a data. And the second one is the self-service BI. Self-service BI is also helps us in stop guessing and makes us a decision maker, and it also useful in complex data, and it creates BI reports in a minutes. So we can just use it with the help of a drag and dropping option. And let's talk about both of these in two different domains, cyber security and manufacturing. First of all, we will discuss about cyber security. Cyber security is the act of securing frameworks, systems and projects from advanced assaults. These cyber attacks are typically planned for getting to changing or hacking delicate data, blackmailing cash from clients. And let's talk about data analytics helpful in cyber security. So data analytics has all the information about the events and alerts, and it also helps us in tracking movement and patterns that may indicate malicious activity. Like we already know the data of the past, so like it helps us in system audit trails, identify context, network flows and anomalies, and external threat intelligence feed, full packet and DNS captures, web page text, business process data, email and social activity, and customer transactions. So analytics is performed in real time to give the organization immediate situational awareness. It allows for quick action and mitigate any potential risks that may arise. Let's talk about its usefulness in manufacturing. It has four different steps. First one is predictive support, knowing when a section is going to break or reducing time or waste. Second one is automatic quality testing. Rather than utilizing manual checks, quality can be tried fusing information from extraordinary test gadgets. With the help of data analytics, we can minimize the data with the help of gadgets, and according to that we can test the quality of high quantity of data with minimum period of time. So it also helps us in product improvement, like progressed examination recognizes parameters of past that cause variable degrees of value or productivity. Fourth and last step is supply chain streamlining, like it correct envisioning the correct time to create requests, empowers on time, conveyance, and resolves stockpiling issues. So with the help of data analytics, it is helpful in cybersecurity and manufacturing. It also helps in many different domains, but now I shall request Lavanya and Sheldon to provide some visuals on education and health, with having two different business intelligence trends. Thank you.
Thank you to my co-presenter, and now I'm Lavanya, the student of Federation University ATMC Melbourne campus. Is here before you to present my topic, analysis on education as my domain. So as you are aware of what education, healthcare, what big data visualizations are, now directly coming over to the analysis as considering education as my domain. So education plays a vital role not only in today's arena but also if we talk about years and years. So education is never out of fashion. In this presentation, I'll be talking about certain indicators that we have to keep in mind and what is the statistical performance of education if we consider stats. What is the area, what is the employment rate, what is the educational rate between different age groups, and we will focusing on various other factors here. So for this analysis, I have considered Australia, not all over the globe or the world, but I have considered Australia as my research country and considering various indicators under educational as my domain. In this, various dashboards has been prepared in which 5 of the main dashboards considering different indicators will be considered and will be recorded here. The first one is spending on various sectors. So the Australians, as per this graph, we can see that Australians spend and enroll most in the private tertiary sector, which means that after their graduation or after their secondary schooling and secondary university, they enroll in tertiary sectors. So the rate is comparatively very high as compared to the other ones. And the least one is in early childhood. It means, I don't know why the parents are not getting or making their children enroll in early childhood, which they should realize that it's the main content or the main area to be focused, where they have to learn, they will learn for their brighter future. But the least amount is in the early childhood, but the most is in tertiary ones. The teenage education, if we consider the age group of the teens, we see that the age group of 17 years of age are most likely to get enrolled in different universities, schools and training institutions. There is not much difference between the age group of 18 and 19, but those 17 years of age children are most likely to get enrolled. Early childhood education. Wow, this is a huge difference. This difference may be due to various factors in which parents consider the age group of 4 to be the most considerable age to gather knowledge, where their children can gather knowledge, but while they don't consider age 5 to be the ones in which they can go to the schools and learn some knowledge. So the ratio is nearly half, it's lesser than half even. So age group of 4 are more likely to go and enroll into the schools, whereas age 5 children, what do? They sit at home, play with their mom and dad, play with certain YouTube videos. No idea what they do, but they are not enrolled in colleges, or we can say the early childhood universities. Teachers by age. If we consider age-wise teacher, we see that mostly the teachers are of the age group 50 and over, and the least ones are under the age group of 30. Which means that mostly teachers or mostly youths are not enjoying or not getting into this line of education. They are not getting into this line of teaching. Only the ones who are near their retirement age are the ones who are teaching and going into this teaching line. So we need to focus on what should be done so that more youth should come here in the teaching line, so that they could help in more and more interactive learning and can help in boosting the more interactive and more intellectual faces in the students. Then youth not in employment, education or training. So as per this graph, it is shown that the women of the age group of 15 to 29 are the ones who sit at their homes, are not even employed, not even into any kind of educational sector, or nor undergoing any form of training. So what are they doing? They're just sitting at home, doing their household courses, getting married, having their kids, but not into any form of educational area. Now, after viewing all these analysis, we have certain recommendations what should be done in order to improve the conditions. Reducing fees for basic learning, so that parents and children should understand that yes, if the fees is less, they will enroll more. Maybe we can consider that fees is the issue. Due to high fees, they are not getting enrolled. So fees should be less, so that basic learning should be acquired by each and every individual, which is their right. Activities related to the teachers should be conducted in order to boost their interest, in order to boost and in order to motivate the youth to go into the teaching line, so that it is related to this point, so that they could apply their practical knowledge into more interactive session rather than the boring one, so that the fresh minds could come and they may help in increasing knowledge and increasing today's youth. Conducting education related awareness campaigns, so that each and every household, each and every individual should know the importance of education, and they should not just let their children go like this. Okay, we'll do some course or some online course and you're good to go for any form of jobs. No, basic education is necessary. People should realize that basic education is necessary. Parents should enroll their kids in younger age for brighter future. As we have seen in our analysis also, that age group of 5 are not enrolled. Why? They should get enrolled. Not even a single age should be there in which they should just skip their studies. They should be enrolled for their brighter future. And increasing safety and security measures for women so that they should feel secure going for various kinds of employment, going to educate themselves, going for different studies, and not just sitting at home and wasting their mind and knowledge. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lavanya. Hi, this is Sheldon Pereira. And now that we're done with data analytics in the education domain, let's see what meaningful insights we can derive in the healthcare domain, specifically with cardiovascular diseases. For this, we've chosen a data set of a population in a town in Massachusetts. Here we have a summary of the data dictionary with a list of the different attributes in this data set. This is a summary of the classification of our analysis. So we've selected key attributes from the data set that play a key role in identifying individuals that are prone to cardiovascular diseases, and we based our analysis on top of that. We have chosen not to take into consideration attributes like glucose and education because we did not get any substantial findings. This is an overview of the demographic, a breakdown by gender. On the right hand side, we have the variance of the heart rate, the beats per minute by gender. At the bottom, we have a bifurcation of those who smoke and do not smoke. And on the left hand side, as per education categories, majority of the population fall under the lowest and the first age education category. Next, we move on to smoking. Almost 50% of the population are smokers. So to further break it down, we categorize the smokers as to those who smoke a packet or less to those who smoke more than a packet in a day. The key influences are blood pressure and age. As you can see, with the increase of age, the amount of smoking and the number of smokers also increase, and it has an effect on the blood pressure as well. Next, moving on to blood pressure. This is an overview of the average category of blood pressure and the number of people in each of those categories. The blood pressure is diastolic and systolic blood pressure. Diastolic is the lower pressure. That's when the heart rests between heartbeats, when the arteries pump blood into the heart. So the average systolic blood pressure is 82.89 for this population. The key influences for this attribute in this data set is systolic blood pressure, hypertension, and gender. Here we see that females suffer from higher systolic blood pressure as compared to males, and blood pressure medication also plays a key role in this with this attribute. Next, we move on to systolic blood pressure, which is the higher number blood pressure, when the arteries exert force and exert blood to all the other parts of the body. On an average, for a normal person, it's supposed to be 120, but on an average for this entire population, it's extremely high at 132.35. The key influences are systolic blood pressure, hypertension, and age. As you can see the breakdown at the bottom with the heat map, as the age category gets higher, the average blood pressure also increases. Blood pressure medication also plays a key role, and at the bottom we have a breakdown by gender. For some reason, even education gave us a little bit of findings in difference in systolic blood pressure rates. Moving on to blood pressure medication. Out of the entire population, 124 individuals are prescribed under blood pressure medication, and all these 124 individuals are suffering from hypertension. The key influences for blood pressure medication is hypertension, systolic blood pressure, and cholesterol. Moving on to cholesterol, the key influences for cholesterol is blood pressure, systolic blood pressure, and body mass index. Here we can see a breakdown of the cholesterol levels. So a cholesterol level, if it is 200 milliliters and above, that's when you have high cholesterol. So based on that, we sorted and we filtered our data of cholesterol, and we broke it down into those who have less cholesterol, low cholesterol, to those who have high cholesterol. As you can see, systolic blood pressure is also being affected because of cholesterol. Moving on to body mass index. This is basically the amount of weight you need to be based on your height, and if your body mass index is 30 and over, that means you're suffering from obesity. So this is a very important attribute when it comes to identifying those who are suffering from cardiovascular diseases, and hypertension is also related to obesity as well. The key influences are systolic blood pressure, education, and glucose. At the bottom, you can see a correlation between cholesterol, body mass index, and hypertension, and indirectly giving us findings about 10-year coronary heart disease as well. Next, we move on to hypertension. Hypertension is very closely related to blood pressure. So you can see the top 3 influences are systolic, systolic blood pressure and blood pressure medication. You can also see that those who are suffering from hypertension have a very high blood pressure rate as compared to the normal population. Moving on to 10-year risk of coronary heart disease. So basically we had an attribute that broke down our population to those who are more likely to have risk of suffering from coronary heart disease in the next 3 years. The 3 key influences are age, systolic blood pressure and gender, specifically males. Around 15% of the population suffer from this 10-year risk of CHD, and on top we have a breakdown of the entire population and by gender. At bottom we have the breakdown by age and the top 5 age categories who are most likely prone to suffering from CHD in 10 years. Average blood pressure also is very high for those who are suffering from 10-year CHD. This is a summary of our findings based on the entire analysis that we've done on this data set. As you can see, smoking, almost 50% of the demographic smoke. The breakdown of male and female is given. The age group 37 to 55 years smoke the most. As you can see, the blood pressure is extremely higher than average, especially the systolic blood pressure. We need to give a lot of importance to blood pressure, and medication, accordingly prescribe medication to make sure blood pressure rates are back to normal. Body mass index, there's a correlation between blood pressure and body mass index and a gradual rise in blood pressure for those with high body mass index. Cholesterol, 42.38% of individuals suffer from high cholesterol, but the cholesterol did not give us too substantial findings, and this could mainly be because of something known as good cholesterol. Then we move on to blood pressure medication. 124 of the entire demographic, as I said, are under blood pressure medication, and they all suffer from hypertension. And then there's hypertension and coronary heart disease. 51, 59, 58, 63 and 52. These are the 5 age groups which are most likely suffering from 10-year CHD. These are the list of recommendations we have suggested based on the findings that we have got. The probability of this cardiovascular disease is most likely to be among males, so we should give more emphasis among the male population in this town. Aging definitely seems to be a factor, and even if you're not suffering from hypertension, once you reach an age of around 50 to 65, you're most likely to suffer from hypertension. Individuals with hypertension, they are more likely to develop CVD or cardiovascular diseases. High blood cholesterol, like I said, can be associated to it, but there's also something known as good cholesterol, since this did not make a lot of difference in this data set. Body mass index is extremely important because it is related to obesity, and obesity is related into hypertension. Tobacco smoking is a very key critical factor, and as you can see, there is high blood pressure, and that's also related to hypertension. So based on all this, we recommend the right blood pressure medication for the right individuals. We've prescribed 3 types of blood pressure medication, like beta blockers, for example. So based on the type of individual, based on their health, we should prescribe the right type of medication for them. There's a need for a healthier lifestyle, a healthier diet, a healthy routine, maybe physical workout, regular exercise, weight reduction programs, regular health camps or health checkups, focusing on individuals mainly between the age group of 45 and 65. And finally, provision for hypertension medication. However, instead of resorting to this kind of medical drugs, we'd rather focus on weight loss programs, which is more important and also helps in reducing hypertension and also improving the quality of life. So as you can see, there are so much of meaningful insights that we can derive with the help of business and data analytics and BI. And I hope you really enjoyed this presentation, as we thoroughly enjoyed taking leverage of data analytics and self-service BI. On behalf of Vedangi, Lavanya, Ajay and myself, thank you so much for listening, and have a nice day.